Hello, friends. You've heard me speak about quantum entanglement innumerable times, perhaps ad nauseum, but quantum entanglement now accepted. In fact, the people who proved quantum entanglement got the Nobel Prize in physics. So later science is quantum entanglement. This actually suggests that local realism is no longer valid. And a new term is now being used, which is non-local realism. So let's clarify the difference between non-local realism from local realism in terms of scientific interpretation. Non-local realism and local realism differ in several key ways in their scientific interpretation of quantum phenomena. Locality. So let's address that. Local realism adheres to the principle of locality, which says and states that an object can only be influenced by its immediate surroundings, and that influence cannot travel faster than the speed of light. Okay? Non-local realism allows for non-local influences and correlations between distant particles that seem to violate locality. And this non-local realism may apply to both space and to time. So this brings us to the nature of reality. Local realism posits that objects have definite properties independent of observation. Non-local realism suggests that objects may lack definite properties prior to measurement, and the act of measurement itself may influence the properties. There's also the concept of hidden variables. Local realism often invokes local hidden variables to explain quantum correlations while maintaining locality. Non-local realism does not require hidden variables, instead allowing for genuine non-local events. A little bit more on quantum entanglement. Local realism struggles to explain the strong correlations observed in quantum entanglement experiments. Non-local realism more readily accommodates entanglement, viewing it as a fundamental non-local connection between particles. What about experimental evidence? Bell's theorem and subsequent experiments have shown that local realism is incompatible with the predictions of quantum mechanics. Non-local realism remains consistent with experimental results, though it challenges our classical intuitions about reality. What are the philosophical implications? Local realism aligns more closely with classical physics and everyday intuitions about the nature of reality. Non-local realism suggests a more holistic, interconnected view of the universe where distant parts can be instantly correlated. So in summary, non-local realism differs from local realism by allowing for non-local influences, embracing the probabilistic nature of quantum mechanics, and providing a framework that better aligns with experimental observations of quantum phenomena, particularly entanglement. However, it challenges our intuitions about the nature of reality and causality. But now, here's something I want to raise. Does non-local realism imply an infinite omnipresent source for the appearance of the universe? So I came across some very interesting papers that I can reference, but basically non-local realism is a philosophical and scientific concept that suggests that the universe is interconnected in ways that transcend traditional notions of space and time. It challenges the classical view of local realism, which posits that objects are only influenced by their immediate surroundings. Non-local realism incorporates elements of consciousness and meaning, proposing a holistic view where the universe is seen as a singular, interconnected reality. So, here is an idea. The idea of an infinite omnipresent source for the universe's appearance aligns with, in my view, the interpretations of non-local realism. For instance, there is a concept called Omni Local Consciousness, Omni Local Consciousness. And it suggests an infinite background context of consciousness that interconnects local and non-local features. This model explains a fundamental unity between local minds, your mind, my mind, and a broader infinite consciousness. And I think this could be interpreted as an omnipresent source to which we are connected. What do you think? Digital Dharma is out, and it's a AI guide to help you elevate spiritual intelligence and personal well-being. You can also connect with my digital twin and have a reasonably good conversation. You don't need an app. Just go to digitaldeepak.ai. See you there.